Hey everybody, Juan Ortega here, your business coach, and here's your business tip of the week. So suppose I said to you, hey, help me build a house. The first question that you would probably ask me is, sure, what would you like for it to look like when it's done? Seems like a very logical question. And if you think about building anything, it doesn't really matter what we would build. You would probably want to know what it looks like when it's finished, wouldn't you? Makes sense. So whether you're building a house or building a car or a motorcycle or a robot or a building or any type of electronic equipment, you would want to know, what is it going to look like? What is it supposed to do? What's the purpose of it? And once you have a clear vision, a clear idea of what it is that you're building, you would then go out and build that and assemble it one piece at a time. So, taking that analogy into consideration, now let me ask you this question. Do you think that you can build something faster if you know what the final product is supposed to look like? My guess is the answer is yes. And a really great example of that is a puzzle. Now, I'm not a really big fan of puzzles. In fact, I try to stay away from those because they kind of make me go crazy. But I know that my wife and my daughter really love making puzzles. And one thing that I know for sure is that whenever they're putting a puzzle together, they're always looking at the picture of what it's supposed to look like. Imagine how long it would take you to put a puzzle together if you had no idea what the final picture was supposed to look like. Now, what's interesting about that is this question here as how it applies to business. Do you know how your business should look like when it's done? What I find fascinating is that people oftentimes go to work in their own business, start a business, work at it every single day, and they have no clue what it's supposed to look like when it's done. Consider that at the end, a business is no different than anything else. You need to start with the end in mind and build towards your vision. Things like, how much revenue will you do? How many employees will you need? How many customers will you serve? In what areas will you operate? What products and services will you offer? And then you also need to know things like, will you ultimately sell your business, franchise it, license it, or maybe pass it down to your children? All really important things that you need to know, even if that is 5, 10, 15, or 20 years down the road. It's important to have the vision and the idea of what it's going to look like when it's done. So if you're having a tough time growing your business, perhaps it's because you're making it up as you go. Just like you wouldn't build anything else without having instructions in your hand and an end in mind, your business is no different. So my challenge to you as your coach this week is really have a conversation with yourself and figure out, how clear are you on what it is that you're building? And then go to it, because there's always more detail. There's always more clarity that you can achieve. And the more clear you are, the more focused you are on the final outcome, the more likely you are to get there, and the quicker you're going to get there yourself. Thanks for watching. Take massive action.